Hi guys, Midwest Outdoorsman here with another review. How many of you guys out there are lever gun fans? I am. I actually had a lever gun as my first rifle ever. I got this gun when I was 12 years old for Christmas. It was the first centerfire rifle that I've ever owned in my life. And then through the years, I bought and sold tons of different guns, and this one is one I will never get rid of. It was a Christmas present from my parents, and it has a lot of sentimental value to me. And I've hunted with it a lot, and it's just great. And so here I'm going to do a little bit of a review on the Marlin 336. This is specifically Marlin 336 CS model with a 20-inch micro groove barrel. Lever action, 6-shot tubular magazine, and one in the chamber, so you can hold 7 rounds, I believe. And it's just a great gun for you guys that hunt, especially out in the eastern states where you're never going to be shooting farther than, let's say, 50 yards, 100 yards. You don't need any more power than the calibers this comes in. It comes in 35 Remington or 30-30 Winchester. I have the 30-30 Winchester. And that's a really great deer cartridge. It's actually killed more deer than all other calibers combined. It's, you know, a great little cartridge, and like I said, if you only have 50 to 100 yard distance, it'll be perfectly adequate for the biggest deer, especially with today's loads that you can imagine. And it's really quick for the follow-up shot. And actually, the way that I use it now, I'm a big bolt gun fan as well. That's usually what I use, is a Browning X-Bolt 300 WSM, but I kind of use that in tandem with this gun. And this gun, I have iron sights on it. It comes with iron sights. I actually took off the regular iron sights. You can see there's a dovetail here where they had the semi-buckhorn sights, which are fine. But I kind of committed this gun to being a drive gun, a brush hunting gun. So I didn't want a scope on it. I have had scopes on it at one time. Like I said, it was my only centerfire rifle for quite a few years when I first started hunting. And I've killed a lot of deer with it, and I really like it. But for now, for me, for the role that it fulfills when I'm doing drives in popple thickets and in the red brush and stuff around here in Wisconsin, it's so fast with the follow-up shot. I can shoot this gun almost as fast as the semi-automatic, which, you know, you want to make every shot count, and you should only have to shoot one time anyways. But it's nice to know you can have those quick follow-up shots if you need to. And so I relegated this gun to open sights only, and for a brush hunting gun. And what I did actually, like I said, I took the buckhorn sights off of it, and I put on a pair of excess sights, which is a ghost ring rear. As you can see, that goes onto it's drilled and tapped for scope mounts, and it goes onto the back holes that you'd normally mount your scope bases on. And you have a circle aperture that you look through, instead of an open sight, and it moves the back sight back, because you can see where the dovetail was way up here, and now you're sighting from back here, so you have a longer sight radius, which makes it more accurate. And this one's got a really tall front sight, just a white stripe, works great. And nice smooth action. This is one of the older Marlins that they have. The newer Marlins I'm not a huge fan of. Since Remington bought them, there's been a lot of quality control issues since they've been taken over, but that's not really what this video is about. The older Marlins are just fantastic. This gun, I mean, has been through everything. I've really taken care of it. It's been through snow, rain, you know, anything you can imagine. And the bluing is just fantastic on this gun. It's held up well. I got one little spot of some surface discoloration there where there was a little bit of rust started to form, and I took care of it, but just a little bit of discoloration there. But otherwise, the gun is just mint. I mean, I've been in absolute, you know, downpours with this thing, and, you know, I obviously put oil on it and stuff afterwards and clean it real well. But the bluing is really good on this. It's really good quality, and just, it's a safe gun too. Like, one reason I like this gun over the Winchester lever actions is because it gives you more options. For one, you have a side eject versus the Winchester where you have a top eject. So on the Winchester lever actions, you know, you can't put a scope on the top just like a conventional bolt action. which I believe is far superior. You have to get like those goofy side mounts, which, you know, if you like that, that's fine. But I don't think it's nearly as good as putting a traditional scope on here if that's what you want. And plus, you don't have, you know, the shells flying around in your face. If, you know, I'm not really sure that's a problem, but some people may complain about it. I just like the side eject myself. And it's got two safeties on it, where the Winchester just has a half cock, which means that here's the hammer. It's all the way up. Bring it back a little bit. You can hear it click. It has a half cock, so that if you bump this hammer, it's not going to go and hit the firing pin and send off around. Which, you know, if you're a hunter and you're knowing what you're doing and you're safe, that should be all you need. But it's nice to know that you also have a crossbolt safety right here. So just a little extra insurance. I like it, you know. And it's just good to have options, because let's say you don't want to use that, you can always just click it on fire and then just use your half cock safety. So it just gives you options, and, you know, for safety, I don't mind it. Works good. It has a decent trigger. Over the years, they actually make quite a bit of aftermarket parts for these Marlins, and you can get aftermarket triggers, which are really great. My trigger has been pretty good from the factory, and over the years it's really worn down and smoothed out, so it's pretty crisp. Try to give you, making sure, yep, it's always unloaded, but just making triple sure here, and give you an idea of this trigger. I mean, that's pretty crisp. I mean, there's no creep in it at all whatsoever. I'll try to get behind it here and show you. I mean, look at that. There's absolutely no, I mean, it's just awesome. For whatever, you know, a lot of people say that the bolt gun is, you know, has absolutely best triggers as far as being able to be adjustable and stuff, and I have to go along with that. But for a lever gun, this has got a really great trigger, and it's factory. I mean, I haven't touched this gun since it came out of the box, other than putting these new sights on it. So that's one thing I like about it. And like I said, it's so fast. That follow-up shot, you know, if you need to wrap another shell in there, that's great. A lot of people like it because they get the 45-70 versions and the guide guns and stuff for bears and stuff, which really makes a nice difference. If you're going to be, you know, trying to defend your life against a bear, you can shuck them shells out quite a bit faster. The 20-inch barrel, it's micro grooved, so it's a really accurate gun. I can shoot pretty good groups with this. My favorite ammunition for this gun as of now is the Hornady with the flex tip on it, so it's actually pointed, and it's got the soft nose, so you can safely use it in these tubular magazines. And they have an all copper version, which is called oh geez, I can't remember the acronym for it, but it's the flex tip bullet with the mono metal, you know, solid copper bullet with the flex tip on it, and it just means it's all solid copper with the flex tip, and it penetrates really, really well, especially for a gun like this. Doesn't have a super lot of power. It's got plenty of enough killing power for deer and bear and that kind of stuff. I'd say 100 yards, 150 yards mostly, or under. But just that solid copper bullet takes it to another level. I mean, you're almost basically shooting a 308 to me then, or a 30-06, because it penetrates a lot better, and turns the 30-30 into something really even more special than it already was. The butt pad or plate or whatever you want to call it here isn't really much of anything. They do make different, you know, like Limb Saber makes some, and if, you know, you're a little bit recoil shy, you might want to get one of those. I don't think the 30-30 kicks terribly hard, but it's just a hard, I mean, it's not rubbery, it's not squishy, it's just an old school hard pad. But for me, the gun doesn't kick hardly at all, so I don't really worry about it. But if, you know, you have a young child or something like that, you want to get something like this for them, I would definitely recommend getting like a Limb Saber and putting it on there, just because it makes the gun that much more comfortable to shoot. It's great how it rides on your back because it's so short. It's 38.5 inches overall length, so the barrel doesn't stick up way above your head when you're going through brush. The 20-inch barrel swings really nicely for me, you know, like when I'm going through red brush or popple thickets or that kind of stuff. So it's just a really handy, fast gun. I love using it for doing drives and going through thick cover. In the iron sights, you know, especially the ghost rings that I have, I like those. It makes just for a quick handling, fast, you know, reliable, accurate, you know, package for deer hunting. And for really, especially if you're gonna, you know, be hunting in some stands or something where you're not gonna shoot over 50 yards, you don't even need a scope. But you know, I just have it, like I said, relegated to the iron sights for doing drives and stuff. But I mean, it's just a great gun. It's really near and dear to my heart. I've killed a lot of deer with it. I haven't a bad thing to say about it. I mean, as long as you understand what it is, I mean, you're not going to take this gun out west and shoot 300-400 yards with it like a 300 mag, obviously. I mean, you can, with the new ballistic scopes and stuff, you can shoot farther than you ever could with these, and the new ammunition available. So if you want one gun to do it all, I mean, this wouldn't be my first choice, but you can stretch it out there a little ways, maybe 200 yards or something like that. But I would say this gun is more of a 150 to 100 yard gun and under, to be really quite effective for deer size game. And that's kind of my quick review of it. Not really too much. It just has a plain walnut stock. Nowadays they have laminated stocks and they have stainless steel barrels. You can get all different options with these Marlins, but mine is just a classic, you know, 336 CS. And I love the gun, and it works great. Never had a problem with it. Never had a jam. Never had a failure of any kind with this gun. Everything has been just perfect since the day that I bought it, or not bought it, but got it for Christmas. And so, yeah, if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, you want to know anything more about it that I didn't cover, if I forgot something, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. As always, be respectful of other people. You know, this is just my opinion about stuff and kind of what I've used. So if you have a different opinion, go ahead and chime in. That's great. I love to hear what other people have to say about certain stuff, or maybe something I didn't think of, or whatever. So hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.